posted. She got a nigga but don't even post it. I pull up with the runs and the potion. Niggas no shooter who keep him some motion. Put a play on a play on a play. Put a bay on a bay on a bay. Screaming free out my bodies upstate. Screaming free out my niggas downtown too. I be high as fuck making LeBron moves. She got a nigga but don't even post it. I pull up with the runs and the potion. Niggas no shooter who keep him some motion. Put a play on a play on a play. Put a bay on a bay on a bay. Screaming free out my bodies upstate. Screaming free out my bodies downtown too. I be high as fuck making LeBron moves. Should be bad like in no time. Hit a C like it's go time. My bitches in the game like the old line. Hey, and when I come down, you get no shine. Scissors on the backseat like a little kid. Tub been gone for a little minute. Ain't back and forth, I just post a pic with a bankroll, pounds in the mix. I can't parking like pimp. Hey, serving coffee shop here. Hey, got you.
Uncle Sekou. He say you gotta hook up your mic. Peace, everybody. Peace. Man, we here early, man. We got Uncle Sekou in the building from Canada. You know what I'm saying? Dropping this goddamn information. Uncle Sekou, you probably gotta come out and come back in because it's saying your mic not set up. It's saying your mic not set up. Let me see. Man, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Uncle Sekou here to address the people, here to address the nation. You hear me, Uncle Sekou? You hear me? All right, you probably gotta, yeah, probably gotta just come out and come back in. Yeah, hey man, appreciate everybody for tapping in, man. It is about to go down. Uncle Sekou is in the building. You know what I'm saying? He about to drop the top and give us some of this news we could use. Man, y'all know, man, it's been a lot going on from, if y'all got questions, if y'all got any questions, y'all want me to ask Uncle Sekou, put it in the chat. If y'all got any questions y'all want me to ask Uncle Sekou, drop it off in the chat. Wait, no, cool right now.
It ain't my fault, I got it off, chop out the low, package dropped off, gas make you cough, straight out the soul, girl in my mouth, yo. It ain't my fault, cameras active, watching over my house, end up in the club, trying to chase you some clout, designer stepping, you can tell how I walk, don't know no better, yeah. It ain't my fault, I got it off, chopped out the low, package dropped off, gas make you cough, straight out the soul, girl in my mouth. No, it ain't my fault. Cameras active, watching over my house. End up in the club, trying to chase you some clout. Designer stepping, you can tell how I walk. Don't know no better, yeah. Cancel myself, these niggas some faggots. Changing the reins, hitting with bag. I don't wanna know more. Look goofy, I had it. Say they can't see me, go get them a tablet. What in the hell? Who told you go start painting your nails? Way God dangerous with scales. Yeah. Peace out the real.
Drop my top in the summer. No laces on these foam runners. No laces on these. Playing my numbers. Wavy got them things in bundles. Bodies knowing the game in trouble. No rain, no thunder. Really felt played by my uncle. I was broken, knew my time was coming. Boys know how I'm bumming. See swangers on Toyota Tundras. Got lions and tigers among us. Hope the fame and chains don't take me under. Sometimes I wonder, all the acting tough, you just gon' die younger. Question everything, just how my mind functions. Twerking on my bed, let wavy slide under. Sometimes I wonder, sometimes I wonder, sometimes I wonder if all else fails, I'm back up in that jungle. Sometimes I wonder, sometimes I wonder, sometimes I wonder if all else fails, I'm right back in that jungle. Sometimes I wonder, sometimes I wonder, sometimes I wonder, sometimes I wonder, sometimes I wonder if all else fails, I'm right back in that jungle. Babe, get the bags, we packing sacks. I'm on and off like Mattress Mac. 20s, 50s, 100s, we after that. This ain't no battle rap. Asking for pictures and features. Thought you said my album whack. Can't be around leeches and preachers. Can't be who you yapping at. Let the window down, smell the aroma. Shiny in a big body, bending corners. How you gon' know who real and phony? Going extra, I really want it. Turning down my collar, had no idea. Mr. Popeye with that shit on, no diarrhea. Same ass she bought, she gon' sell it again. Before they laid on them, they was like, hell is this crib? Sometimes I wonder, sometimes I wonder, sometimes I wonder if all else fails, I'm back up in that jungle. Sometimes I wonder, sometimes I wonder, sometimes I wonder if all else fails, I'm right back in that jungle. Sometimes I wonder, sometimes I wonder, sometimes I wonder, sometimes I wonder, sometimes I wonder if all else fails, I'm right back in that jungle. Sometimes I all else fails, I'm right back in the jungle. In the jungle. Sometimes I wonder. She'll be down with God, but she be down with me. She'll be down with God, but she be down with me. She'll be down with God, but she be down with me. She'll be down with God, but she be down with me. You niggas be trolling, licking on my lips, biting down, but I'm rolling. Square ass body walked up like what my hoe went. In the street shit, keep it real without a trophy. Baby, what's the weather like? Wavy, get the better price. Ice on my left and right wrist, burning megabytes. Rolling up megahertz, feeling like gelling hurts. Nigga, what's your nigga, what's your net worth? Better find some better work. Better find some. Nigga, what's your net worth? Better find some better work. Look me in my eyes, Charlie. Look me in my eyes. Can you see my vision? Can you? Hey, she'll be down with God, but she be down with me. She'll be down with God, but she be down with me. She'll be down with God, but she be down with me. She'll be down with God, but she be down with me. Best gas on the north side, tell me what you need. Only sell cat if you sellin' it for me. Plants ain't ready, I'ma sell them in the spring. 36 bitches, gotta tell them when to leave. Ran up a check, gotta put this in the house. Talking too much, baby, put this in your mouth. Pancakes and eggs, I'm just cooking what I bought. Schedule kinda full, gotta book me when I'm out. Had to tell my dog that his name getting hot. Every kind of tool like a maintenance shop. Put back some bread for the same little spot. 409 miss me so the game still rock. Shit, wait. For me, she'll be down with God, but she be down with me. God, but she be done with me. She'll be done with God, but she be done with me. She'll be done with God, but she be done with me.
Don't even post it. She got a nigga, but don't even post it. She got a nigga, but don't even post it. I pull up with the runs and the potion. Niggas no shooter who.
Uncle Sekou.
Yeah, man. Sorry for the technology. They're trying to give me. I tried to use my phone at first because it's much clearer on the phone, but wasn't doing it. So I decided to use my computer. I think it's much better, so that my hands can be free. So yeah, we can give it a 40 minute. Well, what's up, you? What's going on?
Man, I'm doing good, man. You know the people, they always want to hear from you. Since the last time we talked,
Okay.
there's been so many events happening. There's been so much stuff going in this world, and I know the people
Yeah.
want to hear your opinion. You know what I'm saying? So I got some topics we're gonna go over, and we're gonna get your opinion about it. Is everything going good with you? How is everything?
It's going very well. I'm busy with work. Um, Now I moved into the counseling field, addiction counseling. I've been doing a lot of work there, and I'm preparing to travel to Liberia very soon. I'm working on some projects in my car, and I'll be going there next year. So these are things I'm doing. Otherwise, I've been following all the news. Yeah.
Most definitely, most definitely. Let me make sure you ain't got a delay. You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you clearly.
Okay, okay. So the first question I want to get to, I was I was looking it up in my phone. Let me see. Let me find this message. So, let me see. It's Dangote Refinery now supplies the United States with petrol for the first time in history. It says for the first time ever, Nigeria's Dangote Refinery has exported petrol to the United States. A shipment of approximately 320,000 barrels of gasoline arrived at New York Harbor, marking a significant achievement for Africa's largest oil refinery. Um, did you hear anything about that?
Sure. You said you were getting delayed, right, when I'm speaking?
Yeah. And I just noticed that I got it again. So just refresh the screen one time for me, Uncle Sekou.
Yeah. Or probably I can go back to the
Just
phone
refresh the
because the
screen
computer
and it's gonna
does
be
that a
good.
lot.
As soon as you refresh, it's gonna be good.
Okay.
It's gonna bring you back in on the right time. Peace to everybody tapped in, man. We got Uncle Sekou in the building. You know the refresh screen, Uncle Sekou.
Uh, that's what I'm trying to check. Is it what key? I see.
All right, you see the arrow. You see the arrow where it's going in circle like a reload current page. You see that?
Yeah, it's right. I just did.
Like you got the. All right, you about to come right back in. Appreciate everybody tuning in. We got Uncle Sekou in the building, man. We about to drop this goddamn information off. Um, Going over. We talking about Africa. We talking about Trump. Gonna get into Israel. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna ask Uncle Sekou all the tough questions. If y'all got some questions y'all want me to ask Uncle Sekou, put them in the chat. Y'all got some questions y'all want me to ask Uncle Sekou, drop it off in the chat. You know what I'm saying? All right, we got Uncle Sekou back. You there, Uncle Sekou?
Yep. I just refreshed it, so let's see what happens.
You sound perfect. No more delay.
Okay. Otherwise, I was trying to see if I can use the phone because it's much clearer there, but that's not working either. Yeah, but I can see my image is frozen. Oh
Yeah,
my God.
just cut your camera off and try to cut it back on. See if that'll work. Try to cut your camera off.
Yeah, it's crazy here today. Yeah,
Like how you mute
I'm
your mic,
sorry.
cut your camera off and then click
The
it back
keys
on.
are not, yeah, it's not even doing it. It just froze. Damn.
All right,
Um,
let's come out and come back in one more time. We gonna get it down.
okay.
Just hit the refresh button one more time. If anything, I got the audio. I got your audio, Uncle Sekou. Just hit the refresh button one more time, the reload page, and then it's gonna get right. You there, Uncle Sekou? All right, he about to come back in. Oh man, they say Cardi B going at JT and Lil Uzi. They say Cardi B going at JT and Lil Uzi, man. Goddamn. Uh got a couple family members' birthdays today. Happy birthday, my boy Jahadi. You know what I'm talking about? Happy birthday to everybody that's birthday. My boy D'Angelo daughter birthday today. Happy birthday. Yeah, man, we're gonna get the I think the far both wing is trying to sabotage this interview. The anti pan African, these FBA is trying to sabotage this interview, but we is gonna make it happen. Matter of fact, let me go and light my blunt up. Let me light my blunt. Let me light my goddamn blunt. And if we can't get the here we go.
Yeah, so I had to use the phone because let me see if I can twist it around. Because the can you see me all right, or I can just leave it like this? I know it
You
has
good?
the dark.
You good? I can
Okay,
see.
all right. Yeah, it's up. It's better like this because the volume is much better. So you asked me about Dangote refinery in Nigeria, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So the update on that is like, this guy is the richest man in Africa, and he built one of the largest or biggest refinery in the world. One of the to refine the Nigerian petroleum product, and he has started shipping to other countries around the world, I think, including the United States. But there's a lot of sabotage going on. They are trying to sabotage that industry because, look, the biggest problem Africa has since independence until this day, it has been the issue of industrialization. It has
Right.
never been about poverty. It has never been about, oh, Africa is poor or this and all of these things are just symptom, the result of something else, which is lack of industrialization. So what the capitalists have done is to prevent Africa from industrializing. So they design a system, which is a very, very clever system the Western world have done, is to tell African countries, look,
You are third world countries, and we are the developed nations. That means we are industrialized and everything. And you have the raw materials to supply our industries. So the only way you're going to develop is to keep supplying us the raw materials and we process them. In that way, we can have a good market system and buy from you the raw materials, and then we process them and sell it back to you. But this one-way traffic has not been working for Africa. We produce all the cocoa and the coffee, but we don't have chocolate. It has to come from the West. I believe most people who eat chocolate have never even seen the cocoa beans before. But if you go to Cote d'Ivoire, it's all over the street. But you don't have a single chocolate factory. You don't have us processing all of these materials. Liberia, no, many people have never seen the product that's used to make the tires that you put under your cars. But the rubber that comes from the tree, which is a plant, like, for 100 years, Liberia has been supplying the U.S. with that through the Firestone. So the Firestone has this monopoly to take this product out of Liberia, the plastic from the tree, and then they go the rubber tree, whatever they call it, as a plant, which they drain the kind of liquid from it and process this to make the rubber that makes the tire. And
Damn.
Liberia has been supplying that to Firestone for 100 years, 150 years, I would say. And Liberia has no single factory to produce one single plastic chair. So the same thing with the iron ore. They take the iron ore and they make all the steel industry. Okay, but the absolute metal that takes out all the iron ore from Liberia, but then we cannot make steel for ourselves. So these things have been happening for generations. So what Dangote and other people have said is, say, look, let's try to build factories and industrialize and produce this in by ourselves, because that will give jobs to our young people. It stop them from going to the West. It will also add value to our product, and that will create some type of balance in the market system. Okay. But then they are trying to sabotage it, even through the Nigerian government itself. So I know Dangote is a bloody capitalist as well. He's not so much a good guy, but to some extent, at least he built the factories on the continent. And that's supposed to create jobs for young people. So it's something that is very good. But I'm telling you, there's a lot of conspiracy going on to sabotage that plan. And I hope they don't succeed. That's the issue.
Okay, okay. Um, this. So we got some strife going on in Nigeria. Um, there is being intel reported that the U.S. is planning to use former Nigerian President Goodluck Jonathan against Tinubu in coming election. Prophet Elijah Oyedele warns the ruling class. Have you heard about this?
So first of all, let's clarify. Nigerian politics is very dirty and it's very confusing if you don't have the facts. Sometimes they make you to fight your allies and become friends with your enemies.
Right.
So you need to know the facts of what is on the ground. The man in the presidency right now, called Tinubu, came to power in 2023 elections through a political party called the APC. And this political party was supported, first came to power in 2015 through a man called Muhammadu Buhari, the former president who passed away. So it was the first time this political party succeeded in winning election. And guess who supported them? Barack Obama. So Obama supported this party called APC to remove another political party in power called the PDP at the time. For whatever reason, we don't know. Obama meddled in the election. If you go on YouTube, you'll find a video of Obama trying to tell Nigerians your election is coming. You have to choose. You have to vote the right people, remove the current government. He meddled in the election of Nigeria and remove the Goodluck Jonathan government from power and install this APC government, which has become the worst government in the history of Nigeria. They brought poverty, they brought Islamic extremism, they brought all sorts of corruption into the country. Now, Tinubu succeeded that guy who was called Muhammadu Buhari. So Tinubu also came to power through the same APC government. Now, you need to know the history of Tinubu. Tinubu was in Chicago in the 1970s. And the FBI and the DEA have a file on him of being a drug dealer in the United States in the 1970s. And as I speak to you, he has been a CIA agent because he forfeited, I think, nearly, I think $250,000 or so in the US bank, because when they caught him, he escaped to Nigeria in the 70s, and they couldn't get him, but they confiscated the money in the bank. And then now he was in Nigeria, he decided to use some of the money he got from the drug sale to become the governor of Lagos State, one of the wealthiest states in Nigeria. So according to some investigative journalists, like people like Davey Hussein and others, so the CIA went to him and said, look, we got a file on you, so you have to become an asset for us. So when you become a CIA asset, it means then you report to them. You work for them. So Tinubu becomes an asset for the United States Secret Intelligence. They helped him to become president. Okay, so he is president of Nigeria right now, but he is not in charge. He's an asset. That's why you need to get it. That's very clear. If you Google right now, Tinubu drug case with the United States government in Chicago, you're going to find all of this information I'm telling you. The second thing, he has a fake certificate that says he graduated from Chicago State University. But when you check the information in the Chicago State University, the person who attended the university was a female. And yeah, it was a female who attended that university, and the female name was Bola Tinubu. But this guy is also, because the name Bola in Nigeria, it can be for male and female. So he literally did an identity theft, took somebody else's certificate. So when Chicago State University was subpoenaed by the court to come and say if Tinubu ever went to their university, they refused to answer. They refused to give a clear-cut answer, because Tinubu went to the US government and sent lawyers to beg these the CIA, the DE, and said, do not release my information to the Nigerian public, because it will affect my life and it will create problem in the country. And as I speak to you now, they still have some of these cases in court to release his criminal record in America. So the man you have right now as the president of Nigeria, what I'm telling you, was a drug dealer in the United States in the 1970s. And he is an asset of the US Secret Service and intelligence. Now, when the people say they want to remove him and bring back Goodluck Jonathan, bullshit. That's nonsense. Goodluck Jonathan was removed by the United States and replaced by APC government, which brought Tinubu. Tinubu is an asset. Now, let me tell you, let me give you some of the understanding. You remember when the coup d'etat happened in the Sahel region, and the three revolutionaries took over 3 countries in West Africa: Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger. So Niger is a country that shares border with Nigeria in the north. So when the Niger government took over, they decided to expel the U.S. Soldiers that were based in Niger, because the U.S. had one of the biggest drone base in Niger. So the Niger government, they said, we don't want the U.S. drone base to operate. We want to close it down. They also chased the French. Guess who the U.S. and French called to help them to fight Niger? Bola Tinubu. Bola Tinubu literally did two things. He cut off the power supply to Niger because they share the same dam, and the hydroelectric power dam for the two countries have been sharing since independence. The United States ordered him to shut it down. He shut it down. He literally mobilized army to go and attack Niger, to fight, to restore the U.S. Base and to bring the French back into Niger. But what stopped him was the fact that Ibrahim Traore and the other guy in Mali, they signed a type of NATO military agreement, NATO type of military agreement, and say, if you touch one, you touch all. If you fight Niger, all of us going to join this war. That stopped Nigeria from attacking Niger. So Bola Tinubu, as I speak to you, he travel to France every month to go give report of his governance, because the current U.S. government, Donald Trump, is kind of a crazy guy who doesn't really understand the geopolitics of America. He doesn't really follow it that much. He's the type of crazy guy of his own. He break alliances and build new ones. He doesn't care what the traditional U.S. allies are. He doesn't follow those rules. So Tinubu doesn't have access yet to the current White House. So he still operates as an asset through France. So the idea that they want to remove him and replace him with Gulag Jonathan is bullshit. He is a U.S. asset. He worked for the French Secret Service. If there's anything, Bola Tinubu is a danger to Nigeria. And Gulag Jonathan is no better because he wasn't a good leader anyway. So these are the things I want people to understand, what's happening. The best bet for Nigeria to right now is Peter Obi. Not because he cannot be manipulated, but he is a guy with a mindset to reform Nigerian economics and governance system. So I think the best bet for Nigerians is to vote that guy called Peter Obi. I think that would be the best bet for them. He might reset that country, because Nigeria needs a reset. If you don't reset, Nigeria is going to explode. It's a big mess. Yeah.
All right, so you basically just said that Tinubu is a CIA agent?
Yeah, for sure. That's
damn, man.
100%. 100%. Check that out. Whoever is listening, Google his drug case with Chicago State, the DEA, the FBI. They all have a file on him, and he became an asset when he became governor. Because let me tell you how the United States operates. They only fight you when you are rebellious. When you are obedient to their cause and their interest, you could be the worst criminal in the world. They will use you to achieve their aim. America supports most dictators in the world. In Saudi Arabia, that's the worst dictatorship and monarchy. You can't protest in Saudi Arabia. Women cannot speak in Saudi Arabia. There is no right. But America never talk about Saudi Arabia because they are making deals with them. The same thing all over the world. They only fight dictators that don't obey them. Okay, so Tinubu, they saw him as a good asset because they have a drug case on him. They have many deals on him. They are like, hey, if you joke, we're going to release this. Then he has to work with them. So that's what is happening. He's a CIA asset. That's very clear.
Damn, damn. All right, let's go. Matter of fact, let me go. You can answer this question. Volta says Traore and them are Russian assets. What's the difference?
Okay, so Traore is not a Russian asset because for you to call somebody an asset, not because you're an ally of a certain powerful nation, that you become. But I mentioned many Nigerian presidents like Buhari and others who Obama helped to come to power. I never called them U.S. assets. They were allies. America made them an ally, but they were not assets. To become an asset of any secret service country, they must have something on you. They have to tie you to something that you yourself, your life, your finance, your future, and everything must be in danger. And they might use you as something as a collateral on you and say, hey, if you don't do this, we're gonna do this to you. So you now have to work for them. You now have to work for them. So that's a Tinubu was a drug dealer. I gave you the reason why he's an asset. He sold drugs in the United States and he forfeited $500,000 in the bank because he didn't want to go to jail. He escaped to Nigeria and he became a high-profile politician. And the party that brought him to power was sponsored by the United States. I'm telling you, he's an asset. Traore has never worked in Russia, never done any business in Russia, has never had anything to do with the Russian. He staged a revolution for his country and came to power. And he chased out the French. He could have made deal with the French if he wanted, because they were stealing the gold of his country. They were manipulating it. He became a Russian ally to say, look, we need technology, we need drones. We're going to become an ally of a country that will supply us at will. And he explained why. He says, if you go to the United States or France to buy weapons, they gave you two conditions. They are like, one, we have to come to your country and train you how to use this weapon. And two, we have to tell you where to use it and how to use it. That's the way they sell weapons. Then once they do that, also, they can put a software in those weapons to sabotage it anytime they want to. You can literally wake up in the morning and all of your weapons are malfunctioning because they don't want you to do what they don't want you to do. What Russia does is that, hey, you got the money, here's the weapon. It's business. You want drones? We have drones. Gave us this and you take your drone. It's literally what you call free market. Russia is saying buy it and we give it to you. You do what the hell you want to do with it. You are responsible. We just sell it to you. But what the French and American want to do is that they want to sell something to you and by the same time still be in your backyard. So they want you to be a puppet. That's what is happening. So Traore is not an asset of Russia. That's bullshit. He is just an ally of Russia. We know who the assets are, and Tinubu is one of them.
All right. Let me go and ask you his second question. He says, ask him about the Russian Sahel takeover, same thing that got Sankara murked. Did that have anything to do with being assets of Russia?
Sankara was murdered by who? By French secret agent. Blaise Compaoré, the friend of Sankara who assassinated Sankara, was removed by power by popular revolution, and he's literally was a secret service agent for the French. Sankara wanted industrialization. Look, you have to understand geopolitics before you ask questions that don't really, because we should stop asking questions like children. Understand the geopolitics. That's why when I came here, I told you of the economic geopolitics, which was they do not want Africa to industrialize. Any president in Africa who goes for industrialization is either kill, remove, overthrow. Gaddafi What was Gaddafi's crime? Because Gaddafi wanted in the United States of Africa, he wanted the US dollars to be removed, he wanted industrialization. They killed him. Why was Kwame Nkrumah removed? By the way, I need to give the person asking the question, I need to give him a book. Let me go to my bookshelf.
Yeah. Hey, Volta. Instead of asking questions, man, you gonna give you a book to research, Volta.
Yeah, I
Got
gotta
a
give
book
you
for
a
me,
book
man.
to read. Give me a second here.
You good? You good, huh?
Yeah, let me go.
Let me see something real quick. I got we definitely gotta we're gonna ruffle some feathers in a minute. Y'all hit the like, share, and subscribe button. You know what I'm saying? Get your drinks, get you something to smoke on. We got Uncle Sekou in the building. You know what I'm saying? So y'all know what time it is, you know what I'm saying? He giving us the facts, you know what I'm saying? Tanubu, you know what I'm saying? Tanubu and good luck, you know what I'm saying? He giving us the facts. So we learning this morning. Uncle Chucky, peace to you, Uncle Chucky. Yeah, man, everybody, man, like, share, and subscribe, man. We got the Uncle Sekou in the building. You know what I'm saying? Dropping off this goddamn knowledge. We definitely gotta get into Israel. You heard what he said, man. He said Obama implanted a government in Nigeria, and it's been fucked ever since, man. You heard Uncle Sekou here.
Yeah. So I have to, everything I say, I always have my evidence because we don't speak. There's the book called White Malice. I want you
Uh-oh.
to, White Malice, written by Susan, um, and they said White Malice by Susan Williams, the CIA and the covert recolonization of Africa. And guess what? The book is written by a white British journalist who, yeah, this is not some Pan African trying to put conspiracy theory. A white lady who is a British journalist who happened to get declassified documents, expose how the CIA tried to recolonize Africa since the 1960s until now, trying to kill head of state and replace them with those they can control and make all of African leaders their asset. Those they can control, they kill them or overthrow them. You think we are making up stuff? Who killed Patrice Lumumba? The Congo is a mess today because America did that. They replaced them with the people that they could control. Kabila. What are you talking about? We are not making up stuff here. So go find out how these things happen. Tinubu is an asset. This is a Nigerian investigative journalist, David Hudain, petitioned the FBI and other agencies to release Tinubu's documents. The FBI was taken to court and they wanted to comply under Joe Biden. And suddenly, Tinubu petitioned the government and said, don't do it. My life will be destroyed if you do that. And the court put a hold and they redacted the documents. When the documents, some of it were released, you couldn't read it. It was all redacted. Why would a government of the United States have thousands, hundreds of thousands of documents on a sitting president of Nigeria and the document is redacted? Can't you just Google it?
Right.
Just Google it.
All right, let's you got some more books you want to show us? I got some more questions.
Yeah. No, that's just for that. Maybe any question that is related to any book, I will show it.
Okay. All right, so let's get to what's going on in Haiti, man. The prime minister or president of Haiti fled. Got Barbecue Johnson. America put a $5 million bounty on his head. Barbecue Johnson over there taking shit over, man. Ex-police officer, you know what I'm saying, was dirty, got fired. Now he taking the streets over. America put a $5 million on bounty hit on Barbecue head. the former president or prime minister of Haiti, um, the people was basically trying to get him. He fled. Um, I think he fled to France. Was it France? He fled to France. France told him, go down there, appoint somebody new, and get the hell out of Dodge. So go down there, settle it, appoint somebody new, and get the hell out of there. When he tried to go, man, barbecue them burnt down the goddamn airports. When he tried to come back and land in Dominican Republic, they refused him entry. How you feel about this Haiti situation?
Yeah, so what is happening in Haiti is embarrassing, is it's shameful, and it's very, very painful to all of us black people worldwide, because this is a nation that set the revolution of black people in motion. This is the first black country that rose up and defeated the slave masters, defeated colonialism. Because the revolution of Haiti will always be a pride for all of us who are historically conscious. Because what they've done is to restore our humanity. Because one of the arguments of slavers and white people was that black people loved slavery. We didn't fight against it. We were enjoying it. In fact, we didn't have the capacity to understand that we shouldn't be slaves. We were accepting it. But what Haiti has done is that there is no goddamn white abolitionist that tried to liberate black people. Black people literally rose up and fought for their own freedom, and Haiti was the center of that great revolution. But what is happening to Haiti, it shows how the white supremacy leadership around the world, they try to strangle that nation. They strangle the economies of Haiti. They made Haiti a failed state. And that's what is playing out. When you have barbecue going on the street, a gang leader trying to control the country. And to him, he said he's fighting a revolution against a corrupt elite. But you don't fight a revolution like that, having gangs parading the street and trying to kill people. That's not how you fight in revolution. You want anarchy. That's what you really want. Okay? He's an anarchist, and that's what exactly he is. Not a revolutionary. A revolutionary, you mobilize the people, you inspire the people. There is no greater revolution than the people rising up to overthrow. We saw what happened in Nepal recently. In Nepal, a country in Asia, the ordinary citizen rose up against the system. Millions of them, they took the street. The prime minister fled. Everybody, the police and everybody escaped. They they cut some of the government officials, beat them on the street. They were airlifted. They all escaped. And the people went and had election online and said, we want this particular lady to take over the country as the prime minister. And immediately the lady was installed into power. That's what you call people revolution. It is the people that decide who governs them and what happens. Not some barbecue, going around roasting people and killing people around. If the people of Haiti, as their ancestors did, were inspired to rise up against the corrupt elite in Haiti, they can overthrow them and replace them with revolutionary. But barbecue is not someone to follow. These are gangs that just want control of resources for themselves. So, I mean, I don't know. Recently, I haven't followed what has been happening. I knew about barbecue taking over the streets, and the Kenyan police were sent over there to also calm issues down. It was not working. So Haiti is in a mess. And for me, I blame the African Union. I blame the African countries that refuse to take leadership, because Haiti have requested to join the African Union, and it was rejected by some North African country like Egypt and other places and what have you, and even some black countries. So Haiti is a non-permanent member of the African Union, but they should have been member of the African Union. But if you check why Haiti membership was rejected, is you have to understand the geopolitics again. The leadership in Africa, most African leaders are assets of Western power. And these Western powers are telling them, no, don't put Haiti in the African Union, because that then will give Africa some edge across the Atlantic. So Africa will now have allies at the US doorstep. So in case you have a superpower in Africa tomorrow, they can easily use Haiti as a satellite state to create some problem for America. So they were like, no, make sure that Haiti never have any type of alliance with African Union or African country. So this is all play out in geopolitics. But Haiti should have been part of African Union. And in a situation like this, Africa should be able to mobilize troops, go stabilize that country. Okay? Why do you have all these unions? Why? Why is it that the entire continent couldn't mobilize to go and help Haiti? Yeah, we know that Kenya tried, but Kenya alone can't do it. Okay? So for me, it's a failure, or it showed the failure of the leadership of the African continent itself, first of all. The failure of the African Union. Okay? Their inability to have a vision to help Black people globally is messing us up. Big time, I will tell you that. Because they are having all the cards to be able to help. They have the land, they have the resources, they have the voice in the United Nations, they have voice in the Security Council. They could use all of these soft power to help Haiti, but they are not. They are not. So for me, I don't see Haiti failure as an issue of Haitian. I see it as a collective failure of Black leadership, especially on the continent. That's all.
Powerful, man. Y'all heard it here first, man. Uncle Sekou, that is powerful. That is powerful. Give the people a brief. It ain't gotta be brief. Give the people history on Israel, how the hell them people got over there, and what is going on now. Give the people a brief, not a brief, but a informative explanation on what the hell, how we got here, and what is going on.
All right. You are talking about Israel and Palestine crisis, right?
Yes.
Okay. So there are three ways to approach this issue in Israel for those who have some historical understanding. Because I like to always start with history, then geopolitics, and then before I make my analysis and tell you what will happen in the future. So that's informed analysis. So let's look at the history. If you follow the biblical history, which most Western countries hypocritically like to use, the biblical history talked about an Israel in the Middle East that was a Jewish Israeli Hebrew state that had been over there for nearly 5,000 years. Now, that biblical Hebrew state that once existed 5,000 years ago, there is some evidence to it. There is some evidence to that fact. How, whether those personalities that we have mentioned existed or not, like Abraham and all of these things, they could be mythological. But the truth is, there is some truth that an Israel did exist for thousands of years ago in that particular area. But that Israel died out, just like all empire rise and fall and disappear. Just like the current United States, there used to be a Native American kingdom. But then that's no longer the case. Sir Christopher Columbus set foot there. It became a different state altogether. If you go back to that and say, I want to recreate a Native American kingdom in the middle of New York, you get shot in the head. They will say you are trying to commit treason. They will say you are trying to
You a
overthrow the government.
terrorist. You a
Yeah, a
terrorist.
terrorist. You become all sort of names. If you say, well, the land belonged to my ancestor, they say, yeah, forget about that. That's no longer the case. So that's what happened in the Middle East. The Israel of the Bible disappeared. They went into exile. There was the Islamic Muslims took over. When Islam rose 1,500 years ago, Muslims conquered that area. It became a part of a caliphate. And then later on, it was occupied by Ottomans. Then later on, it was occupied the Greeks, the Romans. The different people occupy it. So the population changed, language changed. Then you have a group of people, the Arabs there now called the Palestinians. Some Jews were still living there, but they were not in position of power. The place was no longer called Israel. There was a different setting. What you call Israel, part of it remained in Lebanon, part of it remained in Jordan, part of it remained in what you call Palestine. So the land was shared into pieces. So there was no longer Israel. It became an artifact, a historical past. Then in 1945, a group of Europeans shall rise up and say, we want to recreate this Bible Israel. We have this nostalgic feeling of there was a one Bible Israel which God chose in the Bible thousands of years ago. We want to recreate it. So they go back into a land that no longer exists, and they met a people who have been there for generations, and they dislodged them, and they created a new Israel, which they populated with a European people who they call Jews, who have no DNA connection to the land, who have no cultural connection to the land other than the religion which they converted to. The people who you call Israelis today that are living in Tel Aviv, they are Europeans. They do not have any DNA connection to that land. I'll give you just one example. The current prime minister of Israel, what is his name?
BB, they call him BB now. I thought his name was
Bibi,
Benjamin.
Benjamin Netanyahu. Do you know that's not his name?
Right.
That is not his name. You can Google his real name. Google his real name. Just Google and say, what is Benjamin Netanyahu's real name? He has a European name. He was not born in Israel. He was not born in Israel. His name is not Benjamin Netanyahu. His dad's name is not Benjamin Netanyahu. They acquire these names as a political ploy to go and settle down in that area. By matter of fact, I'll get his real name out right now. Just give me a second.
Because that's why I say we're gonna bust some bubbles today. Uncle
Yeah.
Sekou might get us banned. You know, every time we talk about the small hats, they say we anti. Man, what the hell? If that's the case, y'all been anti-black for thousands of goddamn years. We gotta cut it out. Uncle Sekou say that's not even his real name. Not everybody
Yeah.
want to call him BB. I thought his name was Benjamin. Not everybody saying BB.
Yeah.
Hell is BB.
Okay. His name, his real family name is Melaskowski. Melaskowski. This you
Just like
can
I
check it
thought.
out in Wikipedia.
Just like I thought. He like a Russian or something.
These are Ukrainians, Russians, Polish people. These are not Israeli Jews of the Bible. I don't have to be a black Hebrew Israelite to say that. It's the truth. They can do DNA because it will show them to Europe. These are not the biblical Israelites of the Bible. Okay, so that's what happened. This Melakowski now call himself Benjamin Netanyahu. It's like they literally opened the Bible. It's like, let me tell you again, it's like we black people right now, we took an army of black people and go to Egypt right now and say, we want to recreate the 25th dynasty of the black pharaohs of Egypt. And we dislodge all the Arabs. We have historical, we dislodge all the Arabs, and then now we change our names to Tahaka. We change our name to this. Yes, it's true that black people did rule that land. That's a fact. It is true that black people were pharaohs of Egypt. Yes. But for thousands of years now, it's been occupied by Arabs, and then for generations, we can rise up like that and go bombard them and remove them and say, now we are restoring. And my name, Sekou Kele, from tomorrow is now Tahaka, and I'm sitting on the throne of Cairo, and I'm Pharaoh.
Right.
God damn it, people will go crazy. That's what happened.
Right.
Did black people rule Egypt? Yes. Did black pharaohs rule Egypt?
But,
Yes.
but Uncle Sekou,
yeah.
It's like they, like you said though, they don't have no bloodline connection to what was back then. So
yeah, so their is even worse. Their own is even worse.
Right.
Because their own is even worse because
right.
At least for us, we can say, okay, we can do some DNA with the pharaohs and we can see something connected to us. For them, their DNA goes to Europe. That's even worse. Okay? Melakowski, not born. Let me tell you, I don't like Hamas. Hamas is a terrorist organization. I don't support any Islamic revolutionary movement because an Islamic revolutionary movement is always ends out to be anti-black revolution in the end of it. That's the reality in history. Any Islamic revolution, whether it be on the continent or anywhere, at the end of its core, it will end up being an anti-African, anti-black. So I will never support it. But those people they are calling Hamas and they are killing have 100% DNA connection to that land than Benjamin Netanyahu. Why did you change your name, Benjamin Melakowski? Your name is Melakowski. Why are you calling yourself Benjamin? Because you wanted to use a biblical name to connect yourself to the land. So these people were converts. They converted to Judaism, which is just like our people converted to Christianity. Just like Chinese converted to the Hindu religion of Buddhism. But it doesn't mean Chinese are Indian.
Right.
Okay? You have Dalai Lama, who is the head of the Buddhist religion today worldwide. But Buddha came from India. So can a group of Chinese wake up and go take over India and say, because our ancestral religion came from here, so we are taking it? The Indian will say that's crazy because Buddha was even not a Chinese. So that's the same thing happening. Did this Melakowski convert to Judaism? Yes, their ancestors did. But are they genetically Semitic? No. Do their DNA go back to that land? No. Do they have the religion and the language? Yes. This is what is happening. So the 1945 Israel is a fictional state created, a fake country that was created to dislodge the people of Palestine. That's my position. That doesn't make me a Hamas supporter. I don't like Hamas. That doesn't make me an Islamic revolutionary supporter. I don't like any Islamic revolution. Anyone, I don't like it. But I'm saying the truth.
There we go, man. Y'all heard it here first. Uncle Sekou is in the building. All right, let's get to Donald Trump. Do you feel like Donald Trump is doing good? Do you feel like Donald Trump is doing bad? From what we understand, Hamas leaders were were scheduled to have a meeting to go over Donald Trump's ceasefire plan with Israel and Gaza. And Benjamin Netanyahu and Israel bombed the meeting. So it's like you got Hamas, Gaza speakers having a meeting on Donald Trump's plan with them and Israel bombed that meeting. You got Putin coming to the United States. When Putin came to the United States, Donald Trump made his convoy drive around 300 fighter jets, 200 tanks, like a hundred something else, specialized vehicles, just to get to the meeting with Donald Trump. When Putin get back to Russia, he bombed it. He bombed Ukraine. You know what I'm saying? It seemed like it's a lot on Donald Trump plate, but you know what I'm saying, you see how he handling situations. Do you feel like how you feel like Donald Trump is doing 2025 September 19th?
So my position on Donald Trump has been very clear. Trump have succeeded in his quest to restore white power in America, which has been his primary philosophy. Because we have to first of all understand that Donald Trump used play on white anger to come to power in the United States. The white power that felt that it is being marginalized, that it is getting poorer, that the white man who felt that he has lost power in America, that he once used to be a slave master, where he was the alpha and the omega of that land. And then eventually the end of slavery, the Civil War happened, and then this white power was confronted with the reality of integrating other races who have contributed to the development of the United States. And to prevent that from happening, because they don't like competition, they don't like a fair fight, they love to be in the position of advantage, because any fair fight, any fair competition, they will lose. So they then created a Jim Crow law to slow down the rapid development of Black people in America. And the civil rights happened, and the nonviolent civil right, and or the Black Panther and other people who decided to take it by force, all of those revolutions happened, and eventually World War II, and all of that happened. Then we are living in an era where the white power seemed to crumble. America has lost relevance in the world in terms of geopolitically. There is now multipolar war. China is rising to power. We see Russia is also on the air. So the United States is no longer the only superpower in the world, and the white power in America is diminishing. So Donald Trump cannot tap into that anger. That's why when you see Charlie Kirk, you see all of these people, it was the same language they were using. White people are losing power. They don't say it that way, but they said, make America great again. How was it great? It was great when they were in power. They could do anything to anybody on the street. They could take away your job. They could kill you. They could publicly execute you. Those are the things they really want to bring back. So he bought into that sentiment. He expanded it. Then he deceived another population of Black men and others into the issue of, oh, Democrats are bad, the liberals are this, which is true. But then he bought into that one as well to convince some people with small mind to support him, and then he came into power. But what he has done in the Trump 2.0, he has destroyed the international law that held the world together since World War II. People need to understand this. The United Nations was created after World War II to have an international order. And this international order was largely influenced by America itself in the West, where boundaries were drawn. Countries, you do not attack another country without provocation. You cannot launch missile into another people's territory without declaration of war. And there is something called war crime, the Geneva Convention. You can't just kill people who are women and children during war. You can shoot people who don't have arms. There are rules of engagement in war, something called war crime, killing people who don't have arms, killing people disproportionately, committing war crime. So all of these things were listed, and there was an international order. What Trump has done is to destroy that. First of all, he started attacking Americans' allies. He attacked Canada. He said he will annex Greenland. He started putting tariff on American allies. He weakened American allies by doing that. Then what does he do? He tells Israel to commit genocide and there will be no repercussion. He tells Israel to do whatever they want to do. And one of the ways he did it is the recent issue in Qatar. Under international law, when two countries are meeting to mediate crisis, whether they are your enemy or not, once you guys meet on a neutral ground to discuss, to find solution to the war, you are not allowed to attack that person. Even if the person is wanted, the fact that you want to have an agreement or ceasefire and the person comes to that negotiating table, you cannot attack them. Look at the United Nations headquarters in America. Whenever you have the UN General Assembly, people come from all over the world, even enemies of America. They go there to give their speech. Even North Korea sent representatives to go speak at the United Nations. America is not allowed to touch them because that's the international law. Okay? Even North Kim Jong-un could have decided to even come give speech to the United Nations. The UN is not allowed to touch him. That's how the international law works. But what Israel did recently is an act of cowardice and the breaking of international law when a bomb Qatar while negotiation was still going on. And it was facilitated by America. And people should be concerned because when international law is broken like this, it leads to anarchy around the world. Israel attacked embassy of Iran. All those things are not allowed under international. It's a terrorist act when you attack an embassy of another country. It's an act of terrorism. The genocide in Gaza.
And it's state capital.
Yeah.
It's state capital.
You don't do that. You don't do that. It doesn't matter because you have all the weapons in the world. That doesn't give you the right to destroy. Because let me tell you, the only reason the world is functioning the way it's functioning right now, if you don't know this, is because the United Nations and the UN Security Council. If these two institutions break down tonight, there will be anarchy. The strong country will start to evade the weak countries and take over them. Russia did the same. That's why everybody put sanctions on Russia. Russia went and attacked Ukraine. That's breaking of international law as well. That's why everybody in the United Nations condemned Russia. Even Russian allies like China, they do not come out publicly and say, Russia, we support you. They have to do it behind door because they know Russia violated international law by invading Ukraine. That's a fact. I don't have to be pro-Russian or anti-Russian to say that. It's a fact. Russia broke international law. But that's what America is doing daily. And that's what they are telling Israel to do. And that's leading the whole world into anarchy. The International Criminal Court, some decades ago, put out a warrant to arrest Charles Taylor of Liberia, a former president of my country and a warlord. Guess who facilitated his arrest? America, Nigeria, they all joined together and arrested him. Right now, the International Criminal Court want Benjamin Netanyahu. But America is saying that no, you can't arrest him. Double standard, breaking of international law. And in America itself, Trump has destroyed all your institutions. You won't know it now until he leaves power. The director of FBI coming on TV and saying, rest, brother, we will meet in Valhalla, using white supremacy chants, these Vikings talking points. He's using political the FBI in America is usually apolitical. They do not involve in politics. They don't make political statements. But the current FBI under Trump, they sound like MAGA. They talk like they are politicians. Your institution is being destroyed right in front of your eyes, and you don't even see it. He has weakened America 10 times than it was, and people don't realize how weak America has become. Nobody trusts America anymore. Nobody want to look at the recent Chinese parades that happened. Everybody want to align with China. Everybody want to go do deal with China because Chinese do not stab people in the back like that. Because when if I go back again to Qatar, what happened in Qatar was a typical Western behavior in a way America backstabbed their allies. The biggest military base, Air Force base of America in the Middle East is in Qatar. So they literally opened the airspace and told Israel, okay, let me give you a scenario. It's like I employ you to be my chief security for my house.
Right.
I gave you the keys. I gave you all the weapons. I said, please protect me while I'm asleep. And while I'm asleep, you open the door and call some gangsters to come and bomb my house. Right. Then the next day, and I said, oh, you know, I condemn it. It's not a good thing. But I opened the door, though. America literally opened the airspace and told Israel, come and bomb these guys. It will lead to distrust. It will lead to
I don't think I'm gonna be that's why I was saying earlier. It seemed like the other nations are not respecting America and Trump. Because if you look at it, Trump didn't green like that. They was going over there to discuss Trump's peace treaty. Netanyahu, the one that did that. Trump ain't have nothing. America, when Trump heard about it on the news, he probably heard about it through on phone call, but I think we all heard about it at the same time.
Yeah, I was coming there to tell you that one of the things that have happened that I have observed recently, I used to think it's a conspiracy theory. I didn't believe it, but now I can tell you for a fact it's true. Israel has captured America. They did it very intelligently. And how did they do it? They did it with their intelligence service. They were able to find dirt.
Mossad.
Just the way the CIA turned African leaders into assets. The Israeli intelligence is turning American leaders into their assets.
You're talking about Mossad.
The Mossad, they turn American leaders into their assets and blackmail them and make them to do what they want them to do. Donald Trump is not free. He's not even respected by Benjamin Netanyahu. Donald Trump is afraid of Benjamin Netanyahu, then Benjamin Netanyahu is afraid of Donald Trump. That's the fact people don't know. In the eye of the public, they try to respect Big Brother America. But behind the closed door, America is afraid of Israel. Because they don't follow what Trump tells them.
Let me give the people a little background in case they don't know what we're talking about. For the people that's watching, look up on YouTube. Do this with YouTube. YouTube Mossad documentaries. They say Israel got the they got the best intelligence around the world.
Facts.
They just did a deal with YouTube for $40 million, and you gotta wonder what the fuck about to happen. But yeah, look up Mossad. They say Mossad is the best intelligence ever. If you wondering how Israel got the best intelligence ever, you gotta go into these YouTube documentaries. But go ahead, Uncle Sekou.
Every every agent, every secret agent in America, like 80% of them work for Israel indirectly. Your member of Congress, most of them work for Israel. I don't know how Americans didn't see this coming. Your member of parliament, your senators and your House of Rep members, they work for Israel. And one of them said it recently on a podcast with what is his name? He did a podcast with oh man, I'm forgetting his name. He's he's a Republican congressman. I will get his name later on. He was doing a podcast and he said the only reason I came into the Senate was to defend Israel. That's the reason I came. So the APAC is an institution that's used to recruit leadership into the American system through money. They recruit US leaders into the system. If you speak against Israel, they're going to get a candidate and pump millions of dollars in that candidate campaign, and the candidate wins, and that candidate works for Israel going forward. That's what they did in your government. That's what they did in your in the three branches of government, including your judiciary. So you will never find a Democrat or Republican openly speaking against Israel. There will be less than 2% that will do that. So they
And
infiltrated the
for my
CIA to the point that one of the ex-CIA agents released a document and says that they infiltrated the CIA. They used to bring gifts to the CIA headquarters, and every gift they brought, they put this box inside, and those things were viruses that went into the CIA machine, and they were controlling all the information. The Mossad controls your country. Israel, America can do nothing to stop Israel to do whatever. Let me tell you, when Trump told Benjamin Netanyahu to stop the war with Iran, he made a public statement and said the war has ended. It's a 12-day war. While he was talking, Israel went and bombed Iran on that same day. He was like, I wasn't happy about it. I wasn't happy about it. Does that show you a weak president or a strong president?
I'm gonna be honest with you. All right, so I think we hear this word lobbying, lobbying. You know what I'm saying? We hear that word thrown around, and we wouldn't have that word, I believe, if it wasn't for Israel. Like what you said, pumping these candidates. That's what lobby. That's the only thing that's getting lobbied. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Everything else is sponsorships. Everything else is goddamn what they call when the um um alumni donations. It's a word for that. It's a word for that. But that's what that is. When we talk about lobbying, we literally talking about. So I don't want from what I understand, um Israel was trying to throw money into Charlie Kirk. You know what I'm saying? And he wasn't
Mhm.
taking the money. And then he started changing his views on Israel and started speaking about not Israel, the Semitic being the anti-Semite, but the government. So when we hear people are they working with Israel or they bought by Israel, I think the majority of the time it's gonna be through funding. So if you making millions of dollars or if your whole foundation was funded by Israel, you're not gonna go against them. And the minute you do, I think that's when all that intelligence shit, blackmail shit start happening. But you can control a motherfucker just by funding them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So It so I don't know. Do you know the name of this senator?
Yes, that is Ted Cruz,
Ted Cruz. So he was
Texas.
on Ted Cruz was on Tucker Carlson's show where he said the primary reason he came to the Senate is to defend Israel. Primary reason, not
And
America.
he and
This
he
is
is a damn and he is a damn Texas Mexican.
yeah, he's from Texas. He's a Mexican. That's to tell he was recruited. Another thing you have to watch is the New York mayoral debate. When the mayors were debating in New York, they asked them, if you get elected, what's the first place you visit? All of them, Israel, Israel, Israel. There was only one guy, Mamdani, who said, I will stay right here in New York. And that's why the young people rose up to support all of them, all your governors. I'm telling you, these guys, they're clever, they were so intelligent, they infiltrated the US system to a point that America does not even realize that they have been owned. They don't realize it. Your president, if a US president can come on TV and say, I'm not happy about it, I don't like it, I told them to stop it, that's a word of a weak man who is not in charge. That's not how the US presidents used to speak. They used to give order. And right there in
Nah,
a
nah,
minute and
nah,
a second,
nah.
and they respect it.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest with you, Sekou. I'm gonna be honest with you. We gotta when we gotta look at it like this. If Kamala, like, cause this what I don't think you understand it. If Kamala was in office, she wouldn't even be at the table to be talking about what the hell gonna happen. You think Benjamin Netanyahu gonna freeze to her? No. So Trump is actually he trying to flex, but like you said, you know what I'm saying, and I'm gonna be flat out honest with you. It looked like as I'm watching JFK, his old speeches, it looked like he was talking that shit, you know what I'm saying, against it. And we seen what happened with him. But it is more so like Trump, I think, to be honest with you, I think Trump is the motherfucker that's stopping World War III right now. To be all the way 100 with you, but to say that Netanyahu is bitching Donald Trump or Netanyahu don't respect Donald Trump, meaning we got a weak president, I gotta disagree with you, Uncle Sekou.
Yeah, that's fine. We can have disagreements. We don't always have to agree, but I can tell you that Trump is a weak president. And the propaganda that he stopped World War III with Russia, there is some I can kind of concede to that a little bit because I know where Biden was leading with Russia, it could have led to a nuclear war. That's a fact. The fact that he slowed down, that doesn't make Russia right though. But the fact that he slowed down uh, trying attacking Russia was very sensible because Russian, they have an existential threat in this war. If you push them to the corner, it's going to end up an all-out nuclear war. We can agree to that, and we can also agree to the fact that Trump is being controlled by Israel and Netanyahu, and Trump has weakened America in so many ways on the global stage. You have to agree to that. The issue of Kamala is not a comparison. When you look at the debate with Trump and Kamala, all of them were saying the same thing when it comes to Israel. They were saying, I love Israel more than you. No, I love Israel more than you. That's all they did in the debate. All US presidents are fighting who love Israel the most. That's the debate. Kamala is married to a Jewish guy. Okay? Kamala will have been in Tel Aviv to go and celebrate Hanukkah. That's all
Fact,
she would have done. It's not
facts.
a debate. She would have done nothing to stop the genocide. She wouldn't. There is no current US president who will have fixed it. It doesn't exist because they are all in the pocket. But I'm telling you, Trump has been overrated in some masculine cycle, seen as some type of tough guy. He's not. He's not. This is the reality. He is not. He tough. he does all of these things, but when the reality shows up, that's
Uncle
not what it
Sekou,
is.
what if? All right, let's look at it like this. Let's look at it like this. What if, what if, what if Benjamin Net and I'm not a fan of Benjamin Netanyahu. I actually think he committed genocide over there. You know what I'm saying? But what if Benjamin Netanyahu is LeBron and you know what I'm saying? Donald Trump is Steph Curry and Putin is Kawhi Leonard and you got Kim Jong Un. You know what I'm saying? He Luka Doncic. What I'm saying is everybody on the court, everybody playing. So it's not. I wouldn't say just because Donald Trump is under Benjamin Netanyahu, he weak. Like Putin still ain't gonna talk crazy to him. No other motherfucker gonna talk crazy to him besides Benjamin Netanyahu. And you said it exactly because of Mossad.
But Trump doesn't talk crazy to Putin either.
Nah, he don't. He
He
Putin don't play
doesn't.
with him. Putin don't
He,
play with him.
he no, that's it. I don't know how you guys see it in a reverse way. Let me give you all the instances. How Trump treated Zelensky and how he treated Putin. Did you see the difference?
Can I tell you why?
No, did you see the difference?
Did
Zelensky
you
was
hear?
treated like
Did you hear
trash.
Putin? Did you hear Putin tone of pitch? Did it sound like Zelensky?
Of course, Putin will be stupid. Somebody who is already like doing what I want. Why would I want to make them to go again? He literally do what Putin want. Even since he was running for president, Trump has never. If you even ask him, do you think Putin is a killer or a dictator? He's going to tell you there's a lot of killers. Even America, we kill. He will never make a negative statement about Putin. So Putin is not stupid. If I have somebody like that who's trying to be my buddy, why would I talk something bad about them?
All right. Now let's go. Now let's go to Ukraine president. What's his name again?
Zelensky, he literally
Zelensky. All
treated
right. Now with
Zelensky like a
Zelensky,
trap.
now hold up. When Zelensky ass came to that goddamn White Office, when the White House, that nigga was talking crazy like we owed him something. It's our fault that we letting Russia do that. We gotta, like you said, we gotta understand geopolitics. So
No,
if so
let me tell you,
hold up. If Ukraine is making allies, that don't benefit Russia, Russia gotta say so. Just like us with Canada and Mexico, right?
look, I'm not. There are two things we are saying here. When you come to the geopolitical aspect of why Russia, a relationship with Ukraine and America relationship with Mexico, that's not what I'm debating. I know Russia have a legitimate security concern when it comes to Ukraine joining NATO. They have a legitimate security concern. I'm not disputing that geopolitics. I know that America have the same legitimate concern when Cuba had a missile issue that happened, during the Cold War. We know how America reacted. I understand all of the geopolitics. We are talking about the personality of Donald Trump. With the personality of Donald Trump, he has given Putin more respect, and Putin will be very stupid to to try to an American president who is literally trying big. Well, the Jamaicans say big up. He's giving you the big up. Why would you want to fight somebody who is doing big up for you?
All right.
So
So look,
no, wait. Let me end. So you have Trump saying Putin likes me. I think let me tell you, Trump respects power. Trump only respects power. When you are powerful, you are tough, and you stand in front of him, he's willing to. He did it with Kim Jong Un. He invited him because Kim Jong Un is tough. He's like, you touch me, we die here. So white Trump is a typical white man. White people only afraid of people who are willing to die
all
for
right.
their
Now
cause.
hold up, Uncle Sekou.
Let me end
Did
it.
you hear JD? Hold on, Uncle Sekou, because I think you forgetting this point. Did you hear what JD Vance said to what the hell his name is again? What's the Russian president name?
Zelensky.
Zelensky. Did you hear what JD Vance said to him?
Look, let me tell you, in the history of geopolitics, you will never find a video or any story anywhere that a leader of another country was treated like that in the White House in the history of
No,
America.
hold on, Uncle Sekou, because you probably didn't see it. Did you see what JD Vance said to Zelensky in front of Trump?
JD Vance was acting like a kid. I saw it. He was
Well, all
like,
right. So
you
what?
have to
So
be
what
grateful
did
to
he
this
say? He said,
president.
"Why you
You have
coming
to.
here?"
Yeah.
JD Vance said, "Why you coming here being disrespectful? We got cameras in here. If anything, Trump should be acting crazy." And Trump just sitting right there. He ain't saying the word. And then Zelensky it's like Zelensky had a. Look, Uncle Sekou. I
Look,
understand
let me
this.
make my
This what the
opinion.
issue. It was
It's
a. It
okay.
was
You
a.
can have your
Hold on,
opinion.
Uncle Sekou. Hold on, Uncle Sekou. It was a miscommunication in what the meeting was going to be about. Zelensky thought that he was going to come there and make America shut up Russia. Trump thought he was going to come there and they was going to talk about the issues. Like they
Okay.
had a miscommunication
What
about
I'm
what they wanted with reparations. Go ahead.
what I'm telling you is that for Putin, a red carpet will roll out in Alaska. Red carpet. Okay. A red carpet was rolled out in Alaska, and Trump was clapping as Putin was walking towards him. He was clapping, he was cheering him up. Then you didn't see it. I don't know whether you guys are what are you following. Trump
You
was
right. You
literally
right. You right.
clapping. Yeah, he rolled out the red carpet and he was clapping as Putin was walking towards him. If I am Putin, I will never talk negative on Donald Trump. I will never do that. I won't be stupid. Even recently, when he said, I gave Putin 12 days and there will be sanctions. 12 days ultimatum is over. The 12-day finish, they meet in Alaska, they exchange drinks. He comes back, he put a sanction on India. India catch the stray bullet. And India is like, whoa, 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 whoa. What did we do? He's like, you buy Russian oil. Okay, China is buying it. Some European countries, he said, yeah, we're going to deal with you. You are the soft target. Donald Trump, he doesn't like soft people. When he see you are weak, he will deal with your ass. If you are strong, he's like, okay, let's negotiate. That's
Right.
the way he operates. Okay, it's a white supremacy mentality. If they pick up gun, you pick up gun, they're like, oh, let's talk. But if you protest, oh, they love it. Keep protesting. So this is the issue. Trump has that mentality. He will never mess up with North Korea. He will never mess up with Iran. You saw what happened in Iran. They started bombing Iran. And Fred Trump, when he saw Israel was having the upper hand, he's like, Iran, surrender. You got to surrender. He started saying that Iran should surrender. When Iran started bombarding Israel's cities, Tel Aviv was under fire. They are like, hey, it's a 12 days war. Let's stop. Let's stop right now. If Iran does not have the ability to retaliate, as I speak to you right now, they would have been occupying Iran. This is the way the world works. So I'm not a fan of Trump. I'm not hiding it. And also, I'm not going to speak as if I'm a liberal. I'm not liberal. I don't support liberal ideology. But I also have to tell you, in the state of geopolitics, Trump is doing a lot of messed up things that he's doing. And you can support in the other area. Like I support him for not escalating the war with Russia. I mean, we all will be dead. Of course, I am not. I appreciate that part that he did not escalate the situation with Russia because a war with Russia, we all will be dead. I'm telling you something. So I really appreciate that part. But the fact that he's supporting Israel to keep destabilizing the Middle East and keep committing genocide, these are things I don't support. His tariff war, his economic instability, he's bringing all of those things. I don't support them. So I think we spent too much time on Donald Trump. We can move ahead with something else.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Charlie Kirk, did you hear anything about that? Did you catch that
Yeah,
news?
yeah. I follow. I didn't know the guy before the incident happened.
Me neither.
Like
Me neither.
I never heard of him. I didn't know anything about him until when the shooting happened, then the videos were shared all over social media. So what I did was to play some of his videos and really go back, not the little clips that people play. I wonder, like sometimes I listen to some video hour long, listen to his college debate. I wanted to know exactly what he was thinking. So
Right.
Charlie Kirk, first of all, he did not deserve to be killed that way. To be honest, political assassination is very, very bad for any country. If it starts, it doesn't end. You never know who's next. You never know who can catch the stray bullet. Okay, as we are sitting here right now, there are some right wing who are scheming to retaliate, and you don't know who. So that's how bad it is. It's not a good thing. But the other side of people trying to compare him with Martin Luther King, they trying to post a video. He was the best thing that ever happened to America.
The
They,
white Martin Luther King. How? We just
I'm
heard
like,
about you when you
they, the,
died.
the flag was flown half staff. They were raising. So they were trying to build up a propaganda, but it failed because the internet didn't give them the chance. The internet did not give them the chance. Let me tell you what is happening in America. They I told you about the white supremacy ideology that wants to come back. They used to enjoy how they were, their ancestors were having absolute power. And now they have to fight for it. They have to struggle as anybody else because the competition in the society that is pissing them off. That is what Charlie Kirk represents. He said the civil rights movement, he said Martin Luther King, he was bad. He said that the affirmative action was bad. The Civil Rights Act was not a good thing. DEI was wrong. This make DEI to sound like it is a government legislation that intend to recruit unqualified black people or people of color into the civil service or into institution to work. That's not what DEI is. The DEI, we have it here even in Canada. This is a system whereby people who were historically marginalized, they have the same intellect, they were qualified, but the system refused to give them the job. It refused to give them opportunity because of the color of their skin. So major institutions in the world where in the North America and in other places were occupied by predominantly white people, not because they were the only qualified, but because of the racist system that was there. So the DEI and other things were like, okay, now we know black people too go to universities just like other races. They graduate, they get degree, they get PhD. All institutions must have mix of people. People must be represented in education, it must be represented in the civil service, it must be represented in technology. People must be represented in all areas. Not only white people are qualified. So the fact that that is happening, and some of them are not getting jobs because they feel like if they go, like say they go get a job in a place, and the place is filled up, and he can't get a job, but they say, oh, we hire some 3 black people based on the DEI law that we must have a diversity in our organization. Then the white guy feel like his job was taken away and given to some DEI people. No, these people were qualified, but they would have been rejected because of their skin color. So they turn to, it's like disabled people, people who have disabilities. In many countries of the world, those people were not allowed to be given jobs because you are in a wheelchair. Why should we give you a job? It's discrimination. Now there is law around the world that people with disabilities should be employed. So based on that law in the company, there is a tax bracket where if you hire people with certain with disabilities, the government give you some tax brackets, tax relief. So companies start hiring some people with disability. So you that don't have disability, if you apply and they say, oh, there is no vacancy, we just hire 3 people based on the disability law. Then you say, oh, disability people have taken my job. No, they didn't take your job. They were employed because they were qualified. Okay, they were not rejected because of their disability. That's just what has happened. So this is what Charlie Kirk will not understand it. He feel that black people took his job and they were not qualified. He's like, when I see a black pilot, I would wonder whether he's qualified or not. God damn it. They went to the same university as you. They graduated as you. I went to college with white people in the class. They were not the best of the class. Okay. They didn't get best grades. I led groups in class. I topped many grades over them. So if we go get a job and I get employed because they need diversity in that company, does that mean that they were the best students in the college over me? No. So this is the argument he was advancing. Then he was spreading hate. And that's why he appealed to Donald Trump base. And his death, now they want to spin it around and try to make it like it is people of the liberal who hated him. That could have been true, but that is not really the thing. That the guy was spreading a lot of hate. He was indoctrinating white people, trying to tell them that their country is being taken away, their country is being stolen. They need to rise up. Those are the low key sentiment. And so for some of the black people who support this right wing, far right people. I know you do it for different reasons. You do it because probably you don't support some of the extremely liberal ideology, which is also extreme because in the liberal they have extremism as well. They want to force everybody to their beliefs. Then because of that frustration, you go and join the right, far right. Say, yeah, they say the right thing. They want women and men to marry. They want some good stuff. They want the economy to be good. But what you don't realize, their ultimate goal is to get rid of you. This is their ultimate goal. Their ultimate goal is to get rid of you. That is working with them. If you don't realize it, if you don't get it, that's okay. But you will get it later. Their ultimate goal is to get rid of you. This is the far right ideology. And we see people like Candy Owens dancing with Charlie Kirk, you know, says her brother is her. Charlie don't see her that way. That's why she had a debate with Nick Fuentes. I don't know if you watched the video. Very embarrassing. She thought she's in the same camp with Charlie Kirk, Nick Fuentes, and all of these people. And Nick Fuentes told her, black people are not intelligent enough to govern themselves. White people civilized them. That's what he was insinuating. He said when white people got into Africa, they couldn't even build two-story building. They did not even discover the wheel. If you watch the video, that's what Nick Fuentes said. But
Right.
guess what was Candy Owens? She couldn't defend her race. She
Right.
couldn't defend her people because she doesn't know. Because she has spent all her time defending white supremacy ideology. She did not learn about her people. Then guess what she told Nick Fuentes? What about Egypt? Then Nick Fuentes said Egyptians were not black. She said, well, it was in Africa. Because if that happened to me, I would just tell him to Google. I would show him. You said two-story buildings? Okay, let's leave Egypt. Let's forget about Egypt. Let's put Egypt in the box. I don't want to talk about ancient Egypt. Let's go to Sudan, Kush. There's more pyramids in Kush than in Egypt, and most of them are taller than two-story buildings. And by the time Kush was civilized in 2000 BC, what was happening in Europe? That's what I'll ask Nick Fuentes. And I will show him pictures from the tomb of Hoi showing the Nubians in their chariots in the wheel driving to Egypt from Nubia. And I will show him the wheel with the photo from Google and say, these are black people, live, painted 2,000 years, 3,000, 6,000 years ago, driving chariots out of Nubia to Egypt, coming to greet the king Tutankhamun. Here is the photo. What was happening in Europe at the time? I will show him the writings of the Meriwether scripts of black people writing. And I will ask him, you said we did not have writing. I will show him the Ge'ez script of Ethiopia. And I will ask him, what writing is this? Where did it come from? I will show him will in West Africa before the arrival of Europeans. We discovered the will. I will show him the Great Zimbabwe of the stone wall building that were the castles that were built. I will show him the remnants of Wagadu Empire that were built with stones that still exist today in Mauritania, in Northwest Africa, before the arrival of the Europeans. I will show him the University of Timbuktu. So when Nick Fuentes sit down and tell you that your people never wrote, your people never built two-story building, where the evidence is everywhere. In fact, we did it first before you. But she couldn't defend herself. That's what happened when you surround yourself with white supremacists trying to think that you guys are in the same battle, but their battle is different. They are trying to cancel you. They are trying to eliminate your memory. We don't have the same battle. So that's what I'm saying. We should choose our own battle, not be fixed in the boxes of these people. You don't have to be right wing. You don't have to be left wing. You can just be a black revolutionary. Because there are things the right wing is saying, there are things the conservatives are saying, which is true. There are things the liberals are saying, which is true. You have to pick the one that suits your community and your vision. You don't have to be fixed in their boxes. Because when you do that, then you set yourself up for you become an object instead of being a subject. You don't be an object. Because there are things the right wing is saying they are true. The cancel culture, they are forcing this their type of liberal ideology on people, canceling people. The left is extreme. The right wing is extreme. Don't get in their boxes. Malcolm X told you that long time ago. Long time ago. So that's what I'm saying. And when people sit down and say, black people never discovered it, I listen to, I said, give me 5 minutes debate with Nick Fuentes, and he will never talk again. Because I'm not going to talk. I'm just going to open the evidence and say, here are black people sitting on the chariots with the wheel. Show me your ancestors in the same time period. Show me. Okay? When the first black man, Ptah was writing the first complete book in the world, 2500 BC. What book was in Europe? Your first book, the Iliad and the Odyssey, was written 700 BC. 2,000 years after the first book was written in Africa.
Oh.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You said the pharaohs of Egypt were not black. Okay. Let's for the sake of the debate, we can even accept that. Then I will ask you, what about the 25th dynasty, which you guys call the black?
No, Uncle Sekou. We can't accept that.
Wait.
What about the first? What about the first? Where's the DNA for the first 10 dynasties for you to make that assumption?
No. Look, sometimes you have to use their own evidence against them. Right. I'm using this evidence against them now. I'm like, Egypt is not black yet. I said, I am accepting without conceding. I'm accepting without conceding. Let's put Egypt in the box. But the 25th dynasty of Egyptian pharaohs, you call them black pharaohs, don't you? You say, yeah, those ones were black. Okay. Where did they come from? They come from Sudan. Okay. They took over Egypt for how long? 100 years. When they took over, what did they say? What did they write? Because they were supposed to be savages. They were supposed to be savages coming out of Africa and overtaking our civilization. What did they say? Then we're going to read the victory stealing of Bianchi, who said that we have come to restore the land of our ancestors. He's saying we have come to restore this land of our ancestors. And you find the Shabaka stone, Shabaka restoring the writings of Egypt and say these things belong to our ancestors. We are restoring them. And they brought a golden age. Can savages take over a high civilization and make it better and rule over 100 years and make architecture and writing and make it more better. So at least if you consider the 25th dynasty, where were white people at that time? Where was Europe at the time? In any way, your argument dies because we ruled. We sat on the throne of Egypt in your own argument, and we restored the monument and we have writings. Even if you say it's one dynasty, where was Europe during that one dynasty? But when we go back to the first dynasty, the first pharaoh, he's coming from the south and he's establishing the kingdom. It's really ridiculous to listen to people when they make, were there black people who did not read and write in Africa? Yes. Even today, as you can go on YouTube, you find these Bushmen, tribemen, the Hazabe tribe, the hunter-gatherer in Tanzania. As we speak, while we are building skyscrapers and modern dam in Ethiopia, we still have hunter-gatherers in Kenya who decided to live their life like that. And the African, the way our civilization works, we don't colonize and capture people and force them into our way of life. So why the ancient Egyptian civilization was thriving, the Sudanese civilization was thriving, the other civilization was, there were people in Africa who were not connected to it. They were having their own life. So you can't use those people now and say that's how the entire continent was. That's disingenuous. There were people who were highly civilized. There were people who choose to be hunter-gatherer and they stay in that way until today. That it was always like that in Africa, and it's still like that today. You will find on YouTube there are still hunter-gatherers in Africa. They live their life like that. And right beside them, there could be a university that teaching chemistry and physics. They don't want it, and we don't force them to do it. That's the way they want to be. They still use their click language, and they are there. People make YouTube out of them. They are still there. But right close to them, you find a civilization there that are hundreds of thousands of years old. I mean, thousands of years old. So we should understand our history. We cannot follow people who do not identify with our history and our memory. So I would like, I think I have like 10 more minutes.
I got one more question.
Yeah.
And we're going to get out of here because, you know what I'm saying, you gave us a lot of information. We're going to have to rerun this and study this. My last one, this brother right here. When you bring his name up, it be a lot of mixed opinions about him. I look at this brother as a black man. My personal opinion, I look at him as a black man. When we talk about him, historically and ideology, how you feel about that brother?
The man you show is Anwar Sadat. Anwar Sadat was the president of Egypt. Yes, he was black. He was black. He was black. There are still black Egyptians. Oh my goodness. People in the south of Egypt. In the south of Egypt. Now they use the word Nubians. And let me tell you what that word, that's a very highly political charged word. It's just like the word sub-Sahara. It's a highly political charged word. Now, the word Nubia, they took it from an Egyptian word, nub, which means gold. And it was never referring to any group of people. There is nowhere in the text where Egyptians were referring to certain people as Nubians. It doesn't exist. The Egyptians dealt with other people in the south, which they called Nahisi. They called some Cushites. They never called any group of people Nubian. It was the later people who were now referring to anybody south of Egypt, they called them Nubians. So it became literally an ethnic group. It became literally an ethnic group within Egypt itself. There is no Nubian in Sudan. And the Nubians that you hear about, they are like an ethnic group in Egypt. They are literally Egyptians. So the entire south of Egypt, from Aswan, you find black people still there. So the brother you just showed, Anwar Sadat, his mother was Nubian. And I think the father was another mixed Arab guy. And he called himself the last black pharaoh of Egypt. That's what he used to call himself. Anwar Sadat identified as a black man, and he was black. If you put all the Egyptian leaders on across the board, he has the darkest of dark skin. Okay, so Anwar Sadat, in a modern history, he was a leader, a military dictator of Egypt. He was a black man, and the entire south of Egypt, the Nubian, is an ethnic group. It is not a racial or people who have come outside of Egypt. That's a lie that they are telling. And by the way, one of the first Egyptologists called Brother Ali, I've forgotten his last name, was a black Egyptian in the 19th century. If you Google him, he was the one who started talking about black Egypt. He's Egyptian, he's black, and his name is Ali. And in the 18th century, he was already writing, said, this is our people. So the black population was marginalized so much in Egypt because it's a racist country taken over by Arab Muslims. And then before that, the Greeks, before that, the Romans, before that, the Persians, before that,
You talking
the
about
Turks.
Idris Ali or Ali Pasha Mabarak?
Not a Pasha. Yeah, I think yeah.
Ali Ahmad Abakari.
Yeah, I think something like that. His name is actually Ali. He's black. Let me see if I can find it.
Idris Ali, not Idris Ali.
Mm, I can't quite lay my hand. I will get it. Yeah.
Probably Idris Ali, because he definitely looked black. Let me see.
Yeah.
Let me show you a picture of him.
Yeah, if I can see his picture.
Yeah, Uncle Sekou, man. The chat say you going crazy, Uncle Sekou. The chat say you
Yeah.
going crazy. Is it this man right here or no?
No. This one,
Not
he's
him.
coming from the 19th century. It's very old time.
Okay, so it's probably one of these guys right here. Is it one of these 5?
Okay, here he is.
Ali Salim.
Here he
nah,
is. That is his image. You
Which
can
one?
see his dress. His name is Ali Mohammed Duse. Ali Mohammed Duse. Duse is D-U-S-E. Ali Mohammed Duse. Black Egyptian. If you even see him, he dressed like a Elijah Muhammad. Okay. In fact, I think he's yeah. I think probably he's one of the mentors of Elijah Muhammad. I don't know, but he's Ali Mohammed Duse.
how you spell his last name?
So Duse is D-U-S-E.
D-U-S-E.
Yeah.
Okay, Duse Muhammad Ali.
Yes.
Sudanese Egyptian actor, 1945, born in 1866. Okay.
Yes. So yeah, so they add Sudanese to him because of his Nubian origin and all of that.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah. So this is like way back because he was already talking about it. So these are until today, I'm telling you. And I personally being an African, I've traveled North Africa, Libya, the whole south of Libya. You have a city called Saba, full of black people. Okay, but when you hear Libya outside and all the images you see is the Arabs and Arab, you think that there's no black Libyans. A lot of black Libyans. I was in the city of Saba in Libya, and I was like, where am I? I see black people everywhere, and it's a whole city. Okay, and then the same thing you go in Egypt, you'll be surprised. There are towns, villages. They will call them Nubians. That's the tribe name they give them now, but those are Egyptians. Okay, So the whole stuff is just nonsense. Ancient Egyptian civilization is African, is black. So the whole story is just nonsense from racist people. So when Ned Fuentes make those type of statement, I just laugh. These are
Back
people who built
back on
nothing.
Anwar Sadat. Do you feel like he got the wrong end of the stick? How you feel about his passing and what he lived by?
Yeah, Anwar Sadat, he didn't focus on Pan Africanism like his predecessor. So because Egypt started as a Pan African country, okay, Egypt started as a Pan African country. Then after all, Anwar Sadat and other decided to take Egypt politics into the Middle East. So they got involved with Middle East stuff, and they with Israel, the Lebanon, they were trying to build a United States of Arab nation, and they eliminated him in the process. So he disassociated from the continent and got involved with Middle East. That's where everything came from with them. But originally, Egypt started from their independence. They were 100% involved in Pan Africanism. In fact, they wanted the United States of Africa. That was what Egypt wanted. That was their original struggle, United States of Africa. During the Monroe, the Cairo group and the Monrovia group, Egypt was part of the Cairo group that wanted the United States of Africa. Okay, it was later Egypt went and joined the Middle Eastern people and whatever because the Islamists were trying to push them towards that direction. So, I mean, I don't know. He was killed, I believe. He got assassinated. So that's what happened to him.
You
Yeah.
think? Yeah, I think it says something like he had his hand in Israel expanding, and I think he was making treaties
Yeah,
with
some say he
Israel.
made a deal. He was kind of trying to be more moderate with Israel and something like that. And they eliminated him. Yeah, I
Most
don't know
definitely.
the details, honestly, so I don't want to speak on it in deep. But I think it has something to do with Israel and he giving them some type of leverage. So his people
Right,
eliminated him. Yeah.
right. Hey man, Uncle Sekou, man, it's been a
Yeah.
fire interview, man. You gave me 2 hours. I appreciate
Yeah.
you. Man, tell the people where to find you at. Tell the people, give us a final closing statements. Give us some words of encouragement, and let's go and close this off right.
Yeah. So yeah, so the Egyptian leader I was calling a Pan African is Gamal Abdel Nasser.
Okay.
Yeah, he even gave a wife to Kwame Nkrumah because Kwame Nkrumah's wife is Egyptian. Was
Right.
I don't know if it was Egyptian. I don't know if she's still alive. So uh, Kwame Nkrumah got his wife from Egypt because of there was a political alliance at that time going on. So yeah, so my final word is be black, stay black, think black, and work for black first. The greatest downfall of black people globally, or African people, it was our inability to think race first. In Africa, we did not think race first. It led to colonization, it led to slavery. Right now, we are reduced into tribes, we are reduced into macro nationalism, and even on the global stage, we have reduced ourselves into macro nationalists. I'm African American. Oh, I'm Caribbean. I'm a FBA. We are Africans. We have nothing to do with African Americans. We are Jamaicans. We don't want to do. When white people speak, what is in their subconscious mind is race first. All of these Charlie Kirk and all of these people, some of them, they are probably first generation or second generation American from Europe. They did not even participate in your struggle, but they come and they tap into white supremacy and they take their position. We black people get into America. We that are recent immigrants into America, We were supposed to tap into the African American struggle that we met on the ground. We should not bypass them and get involved with white America. We should have passed through them because they've been on the field. They know the devil they've been dealing with. They know what the situation is. They fought for the civil right. They made everything right. We should have identified with their struggle and worked with them. That would have scared the white man. But what has happened is we are working, everybody is fighting for their stomach. We don't identify with Black Americans. They too have decided to see it as a threat. They don't identify too with us. And then now we on the continent itself, we are divided into tribalism, and it's weakening us. And until we understand that race first, we will continue to suffer because we are the only people on the earth that is not applying this logic. All Chinese understand that the superior interest of Chinese people come first. All Indians understand the superior interest of 1 billion Indians people, wherever they find themselves, come first. White people understand that the superior interest of white people, that wherever they may be, whether it's in Ukraine or they are in America, it comes first. And they are willing to pump billions of dollars to protect white race anywhere. Donald Trump literally held a press conference in his office to discuss white genocide in South Africa, where it never happened. But apartheid happened in South Africa for hundreds of years. There was no single US president who had a press conference to condemn apartheid. Not one. Not one. Where it was literally killing Black people on the street in their own country. America supported apartheid, they financed apartheid. But now they were calling press conference to say, you killing white people in South Africa. Because they understand the code that their people come first, their race come first. They don't give a damn what other thing next. We should have that mentality. I don't have to be African American. You don't have to love Sekou. You don't have to like me, but you have to understand that your existence is somehow tied to mine. Because where you are not saved, I don't think I'm saved there either. There is a story of a Ghanaian minister in the 1960s who went to the USA. When Kwame Nkrumah went on a visit to the US, this minister decided to take just a stroll in the downtown in one of the cities in the US, and he goes to a restaurant. At that time, Jim Crow law was in place, and he doesn't know it. He doesn't identify with Black America. He doesn't know the system. So he goes to a restaurant and order because he got money. They said, no, we don't serve niggas here. He said, what? I'm Ghanaian. I'm from Ghana. I'm a minister. They said, yeah, we don't give a fuck about that. We don't serve niggas here. You see? He said, what does that mean? They said, yeah. Then he comes out. I think the US government later have to send a letter to apologize to Kwame Nkrumah and all of that. I said, no. What the white man just told you is that he doesn't care whether you're from Ghana. He doesn't care whether you're from Jamaica or Barbados. As long as you are melanin rich, you are an enemy. And we have to have that mentality. You don't have to love me. I'm from West Africa. I don't have to give roses to Black America, or Black America don't need to give me roses. But we need to understand one fundamental thing in geopolitics: our existence is tied to each other. If I get into a community and there is a business run by African American, that would be my first choice. If an African American don't have what I'm looking for, then I check the next store owned by a Jamaican or a Puerto Rican. I have to look for a Black place until when they don't find it, then I look for who is the next ally of Black people before I go to buy. In my Christmas shopping, in my whatever I want. And I've been doing that all, even here in Canada. Where I want to buy my food store, I drive all the way to the Nigerian store. I'm not from Nigeria, but I said my dollars have to go there. Because a one rich Black man in the community respected by other people increases my chances. An influential Black man increases my chance or my children's chances to become influential. Or 1 million powerful black people double my chance to become powerful and become. But the less powerful black people are in any area, the less my chance of becoming powerful in that area. Okay. It's because if a black man can go into the US today and go to university and talk and say whatever they want to say, that's because black Americans paid the price. That's because black Americans gave their life to bring white people to sanity in America. That's why foreigners can go there today and go to university. So if you don't identify with that, that's a mistake. So that's all I'm saying. Stay black, be black, speak black, and always put black people first in all of your doing. It doesn't make you racist. It doesn't make you a black supremacist. You don't have to hate nobody. You just have to love your own. That's all. Thank you.
Appreciate that, Uncle Sekou. And just like that, man, we out here. Everybody hit the like, share, and subscribe button. What can we find you at again, Uncle Sekou?
Man, you know where to find me. We communicate on Facebook, on
Me in the
WhatsApp.
Uncle
Yeah,
Sekou say, find me in the streets, man.
yeah, follow me.
We
I
out of here.
have the
Y'all take
Facebook.
it easy.
You have my email. You have my email. If, I can share. I don't do YouTube videos these days, so I don't have a YouTube handle to share. But my Facebook is there. Kelasara. You can share that with people. And yeah, I have my email as well. If you have my email. You can share with anybody, and you can contact me anytime. You have a show. You want to invite me to come and talk on African spirituality, geopolitics, history. I will be available.
Already, man. And we out of here.
Thank you. Peace and blessings.
Peace.